What are you up to, 𝐒𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐸?
Saving the world.
Our world is long past saving. I thought that was always your point.
But I didn't say our world.
In a futuristic world set in 2032, technological advancements have attained a record high. In this reality, VR sets have a shockingly realistic interface, with the gaming community growing in popularity as many gamers play professionally to earn a living. Over in a small town at the heart of Blue Ridge Mountains, Flynn Fisher, a talented gamer, takes care of Ella, her blind, sick mother. While administering her mom's meds, Flynn realizes one of the pills is missing and suspects her brother Burton may have taken them. Without consulting Ella, the teen gamer immediately heads to her brother's van and finds him playing a VR game. When she confronts him about the missing pill, Burton denies taking it, but Flynn is unconvinced. The caring daughter explains the drug was the last one and stresses they'd need to buy a new pill for Ella. Hearing this, Burton, who plays VR games for a living, discloses he's been offered some money to clear his current mission, but finds it hard to complete the game. Being an elite gamer herself, Flynn collects the VR set from Burton and plays it. Within minutes, she clears the mission and successfully secures the funds they need for Ella's next dose. After completing the game, Flynn heads into town to resume her shift at the local print shop. On her way there, she stumbles on her longtime crush and local deputy sheriff, Tommy. After an awkward exchange of pleasantries, Flynn bids him goodbye and clocks in at work. There, she's welcomed by her friend, Billy Ann, a witty middle-aged woman who teases Flynn about her crush. Revealing Tommy recently got engaged, Billy Ann pesters Flynn to finally come clean about her feelings, before it's too late. To help her muster courage, she gives the shy teen some seductive lines to use when flirting with Tommy. Grateful for her friend's help, Flynn thanks Billy Ann, but decides against approaching the engaged deputy and resolves to let the crush die. Later that day, Flynn receives a package at work for Burton and discovers the delivered item to be a new, innovative VR set. After her shift ends, the teen gamer returns home and hands her brother the mysterious package. Noticing her curiosity about the new sim, Burton reveals the VR set was sent by a company who offered to pay him to try out the new game, since his avatar previously completed a challenging mission. However, rather than test the VR himself, Burton suggests Flynn tries it instead, as she's a much better player and the one behind most of his gaming wins. Initially, Flynn is skeptical about taking the job, but eventually gives in when Burton reveals the company is paying a hefty sum. Desperate to buy more pills for her mom, Flynn finally agrees and puts on the VR set as she's transported to the virtual world. Test running the new game, Flynn swiftly realizes the sim is like nothing she's ever experienced, and it is super realistic, with the gamer feeling every sensation exactly like in the real world. In the sim, she adopts her brother's avatar and uses it to commence the mission while her real body remains in her world. Following the instructions of a voice in her head, Flynn heads to a party thrown by a company called the Research Institute, also known as RI. At the event, she meets Mariel, a charming woman and one of RI's officials. Following the mission's instructions, the gamer flirts with Mariel and uses the lines Billy Ann taught her to woo the charming woman. Seduced by the lines, Mariel takes the gamer to her car as the couple begins making out. On the mission's command, Flynn uses a sedative gas to knock Mariel out, but is swiftly attacked by the official's robotic driver. In the sim, each avatar is given a series of fighting abilities, alongside quick reflexes. As a result, Flynn manages to defeat the robot with several fast-paced moves. After the robot has been neutralized and Mariel captured, the gamer continues following the voice in her head and drives the car to a hidden location. There, Flynn meets 𝐒𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬, the person behind the commands. On her arrival, 𝐒𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬 dismisses Flynn from the game and schedules their next appointment for the following day. Moments later, Flynn returns to the real world and removes the VR set. When she tries to stand, the gamer feels lightheaded and soon realizes this sim causes a lot of mental strain. After regaining her bearing, Flynn gives Burton a quick rundown on the game, but shortly after, heads downtown to get their mom's meds. Having limited cash, the gamer meets with 3 black market thugs and tries to buy a single pill. Despite her pleas, the thugs refuse to sell to her and allude to Flynn offering sexual favors in exchange for the drugs. Before things get dirty, Connor, a disabled friend of Burton's, arrives to back Flynn up. Thanks to his help, the thugs eventually hand her the pill, with Flynn and Connor exiting the scene. The next morning, the doting gamer takes care of a blind Ella. While mother and daughter chat, Ella reveals Burton had given her some of his pills over the past weeks. Learning this, Flynn realizes she judged Burton wrongly and heads over to apologize to her brother. After the siblings clear up the misunderstanding, Flynn resumes the VR set to make more money for the family. When she re-enters the virtual world, she finds herself on an operating table, as her ocular organs are replaced with Muriel's extracted eyes. After the operation, Flynn accompanies Alita on her next mission. This time, Flynn uses Muriel's transplanted eyeballs to bypass security and break into a restricted underground facility. With the gamer's help, Alita manages to steal some vital data, but the duo is soon caught by one of the RI's guards. Despite their best efforts, the security man easily defeats the pair, brutally wounding them in the process. While an injured Alita escapes, the guard uses a high-tech sonic weapon to blow Flynn's brains out, automatically returning her to the real world. Though the damage was dealt in the sim, the VR's ultra-real effect still causes a major toll on Flynn's body in the real world. As a result, the traumatized gamer leaves and vows never to play the game again. The following day, Flynn recounts the game's events and finds the VR setup highly sketchy. Upon pondering, the teen grows doubt over the sim being a mere game and considers the possibility that the virtual setup might actually be an alternate but real world. This fear is only compounded when Flynn receives several warning memos from a mysterious man warning that people from the game have sent assassins after her. Frightened by the messages, Flynn returns home and alerts Burton and his friends, all of whom are ex-military men. Minutes after she warns them, the perimeter gets cornered by approaching mercenaries. Thanks to their military expertise, Burton and his friends easily scan the area with drones and spot the armed men circling around them as the group ponders on their next move.
Looks like somebody come hunting for that $9.